Good morning. It's Sunday, November 8th. It's been an exhausting week watching the election results and watching them count ballots and watching the accusations fly back and forth from the Trump administration about miscounting. And then having a young man in the counting center in Atlanta throwing away a piece of paper and being accused of throwing a ballot away and having his life threatened and his license plate looked at and him being exposed on social media to a bunch of Trumpites who are crazy. So now I'll stop ranting about trivia and get to the important stuff. Biden won the election. And he won the election gathering more votes than any presidential winner in history. On the other hand, Trump won more votes than any other presidential loser in history. This was a monumental election. And now the hard work begins. And here are a couple of things that have to take place. Here are a couple of things that I'm thinking about that are bothering me, seriously bothering me. What is Sean Hannity going to do now? What is Fox News going to do now? What is Steve Bannon and Breitbart News going to do now? Okay, I'm just kidding. Now for the serious stuff. There are serious problems in this country to be addressed. The fact that Biden won the election does not mean that this country is over and done with its civil unrest and its divisive nature. The Republicans managed to hang on to the Senate and increased their total in the House of Representatives. So Joe Biden has a monumental task of bringing this country back to the United States, away from the divided states. And this will not be an easy job, especially when we still have COVID-19 lurking in the background. So what to do? What to do first? Well, in my mind, he has to put together a very experienced, very knowledgeable, very cohesive team. Now, that doesn't mean toadies and lackeys and people who agree with him. That means experts in the field, whatever their field is. People who can speak intelligently and state their case intelligently, and then people who are capable of making a reasonable decision that all members and all sides will agree on. Now, this is a very difficult task. This is a very extremely difficult task, especially when you have some hard left people in the Democratic Party, and then there are hard right people in the Republican Party. So bringing these outsiders into the fold will not be easy. They are not known for conceding anything easily. So Joe has a big job ahead of him. And even to get started on this job may be a monumental task, because I do not believe that the Trump administration will leave the White House quietly and politely and correctly. They will not be forthcoming with information during the transition. That's a terrible thing that I'm thinking of. In the transition, one must tell the newly elected president and his team what the hell is going on in this country and what they've planned and what they have on the table and what is underneath the table. They have to tell everything. They have to understand that that's their job. But that's not what they understand. That's not what Trump's team understands. Right now, Trump's team is considering how to raise $60 million so they can contest the counts that have taken place in all the states that they choose to take legal action against. Imagine that they are going to out and ask Republican donors to get up $60 million so they can continue the charade. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace that Donald won't put up the $60 million. If he's so sure that the elections were rigged and the counts were false, why doesn't he, a so-called billionaire, put up the $60 million? Because deep down inside, he knows he's been lying all the time. And his sore loser personality has been exposed. And he won't pay even 60 cents to reverse that opinion of himself. Because the numbers are monumental and there is no fraud going on. So because of that, and because of the idea that they would think that way, it definitely leads me to the position in my thinking that the transition will not be an easy one, nor will it be an honest one. I believe that information will be withheld. That's critical to many decisions that have to be made. I believe that the thinking that went on in making previous decisions will be withheld. And so we will have no idea of why the Trump administration did certain things and how they came to those conclusions. That information, I am sure, will not be passed on to the new administration. So I think Joe Biden and his team have a tremendous task. They will be going into this job with a blank piece of paper, and only their vast experience and knowledge will be able to bail them out. And hopefully they will have the proper disposition to deal with the Republican leadership in the Senate in order to create a United States and to get the people in this country back together again. Because while Trump was defeated, there are still 70 million Trumpites out there. And Trumpism is like a disease. It has to be treated. It has to be medicated. It has to be suppressed. It has to be cured. And that is a monumental task. So let's hope that Biden and Harris are up to the task and that the experts that they pick are going to make a major difference in the future of this country. So I leave you with those thoughts now, and I guess I will see you tomorrow. Don't sweat it. Stay safe. Wear a mask.